My name is Crystal Haggard. I live in LA. I am a cyclist and an adventurer, and I work in the bicycle industry. So like all of my social time is on the bike. When I'm not like at work or with my family, if I'm like hanging out with my friends, or anytime I have extra time, I'm on my bike. So I think it's really fun to get dressed up for when I ride. So I have like all sorts of different shoes that are different colors that match different bikes or different cycling kits. So they're in my closet like normal clothes. Like that's what I get dressed up to do.
That's your fun clothes.
Outside in the shed, we have a couple mountain bikes, and those are a little harder to get off and on because they're heavier and bigger, so we usually keep them in the bike shed, and those are for like all mountain riding and cross-country riding. And then these are my other two bikes that I ride most often. This one is a road bike, just your standard normal road bike, and then this is a gravel bike, which is my favorite bike, and it kind of looks like a road bike, but it has knobby, wider tires, and then the gearing is like a mountain bike gearing, so you can kind of tackle anything. If I could own one bike, that would be it, but I don't have to own one bike, so yeah. So I rode from New York to LA. So I did New York, kind of almost down to Florida, and then zigzagged across the south until we made it back to LA.
And did you finish in 42 days?
No, we finished in 55 days, and it was like 5,600 miles in 55 days. It was a little bit more than originally pitched, but that's okay. The last ride we did was in Japan. We did we did like over 500 miles in 6 days, and it was totally self-supported. So in here, the things that I take back and forth with me are like my shoes. These are my favorite. They just hook on there and then tighten up. And it's really nice because you can loosen them or tighten them while you're riding really easily. So as you ride, your feet swell, typically. So you can loosen them up. I put my helmet and my shoes in there, and I keep my kit at work. I will not get on a bike without a helmet ever. All right, going to the car. All right. And there goes my paint on my car. That's something that I've wanted to do, is put some sort of protector on other bikes, or if my husband's driving, we'll have to take the front wheel off, but that's pretty easy. I carry my electric charger everywhere. We have a really bad earthquake. I have like my emergency preparedness kit in here. I have a first aid kit, extra water, extra food, and then like a hand crank radio. Yeah, but then also I will take the first aid kit. Like if I take this car to some sort of a bike race or event or whatever, I have my first aid kit and extra water and nutrition if anybody needs it. And then an extra car seat in case we have a friend coming along with us. And then anytime we need to take more than one bike, we just use the other vehicle. This is the vehicle that does everything except for get good gas mileage. But yeah, this is a four-wheel drive. We set it up for camping and biking. We have a bike rack that gets more clearance than your average bike rack. One Up makes this, and they're designed and made in the US. And then we built out this little like cage for our cooler, because coolers are super heavy and hard to get in and out. And if you put anything on top of them, then you can't eat in the middle of your trip. So we built this guy out that like slides out. So we can get our cooler out and then use this as a cutting board or a food prep, or like put our camp stove on here and cook. And then we usually strap our camp stove to the top. And then this is our dry food storage, and then we have another box back there with some more camping gear in it. And then our rooftop tent and an awning on the other side. We have another box that goes on the front that has all of our off-road recovery gear. If we get stuck in the sand or need to get towed out of somewhere, which has happened before, we have all that stuff on top of the car, so it's really easy to get to. All my toys.
We love
Me too, I love gear so much. Gear is fun. I think one thing that makes me excited about electric vehicles is there's like this side of me that loves gear and like stuff and I don't know. Then there's this other side of me that feels like I hate stuff and unnecessary stuff. And like I'd rather have, I don't know, just like the world doesn't need more junk and more stuff. And there's something about having an electric vehicle and having like one nicer thing that does everything that you need it to, instead of like multiple cars to kind of cobble that together, that feels much more responsible. I don't know, I do feel like a big sense of responsibility to like take care of the world in a way that I can.